Boxing truth here. Gotta make this video. It's gotta be done. It's about Triple G and his team and how they're making excuses and trying to duck a Canelo rematch. Tom Loeffler is being difficult, trying to put in deadlines, trying to rush to an agreement. But it just seems to me that Golovkin's team are not all that confident in the Canelo rematch. They saw what happened. I'm sure they rewatched the tape. I'm sure they looked it over, trying to figure out how the fight was a draw on their side, considering they felt their guy won. But I'm pretty sure after reviewing the fight, they were pleasantly surprised that, hey, maybe this fight was that close. Maybe we got lucky that we got a draw, considering that Canelo made Golovkin look like a damn fool at times in that ring. Had him missing a shitload of punches, got out boxing stretches, had Canelo standing in front of him many times during the fight, and Triple G couldn't do much. Kept missing, kept hitting nothing but air. Put pressure, but ineffective pressure. And now they're making some excuses and trying to avoid this fight. They're trying to rush to an agreement. They want a deal done by the end of 2017 for a fight that's not scheduled to happen until May of 2018. Have you ever heard of a fight that's finalized 5 months before the fight's supposed to happen? I've never heard of it. Never heard of a fight get finalized that soon. There's going to be difficult negotiations to go with it this time around, because obviously Loeffler, they look at the numbers from the first fight. They see the fight was very successful all around the world, especially on the pay-per-view platform in the United States. So they look at the numbers and they feel that Golovkin's name was a big part of the reason why those numbers were what they were, attached to Canelo's name. So obviously they're going to feel they're entitled to a bigger slice of the pie, which can make negotiations for this time around a lot trickier. It's a different negotiation this time around. Loeffler's team, they're entitled to a bigger piece. Oscar is going to feel a certain type of way and is going to make a rematch a little more difficult to get done, considering the position that Golovkin and Canelo are in right now. Neither won the fight. The fight was officially ruled as a draw. So going forward, if this fight doesn't happen, it's not going to be on Canelo's behalf. It's not going to be on Oscar De La Hoya's behalf. They want the fight. They want the fight to be next. That is the biggest fight out there for them. It's the biggest fight out there for Gennady Golovkin and his team. But to me, the team that is more confident in the fighter, at least the team. I'm not going to say Golovkin's not confident. He feels he won. But to me, the handlers that are more confident of each respective fighter is Golden Boy. They have made it clear to the media that Golovkin is the priority, but of course plan B's have to be put in place in case they can't come to a deal. They can't come to terms. So of course they're going to wait for the David Lemieux Billy Joe Saunders fight, whoever comes out of that as the winner. That could be options for both guys. At least one of the options for Golovkin, since a David Lemieux rematch won't be very desirable. So they're going to hope Billy Joe Saunders wins that fight. For Golden Boy, they'd rather see David Lemieux win that fight, since they represent David Lemieux. They promote David Lemieux. But if Billy Joe Saunders wins the fight, no biggie. Golden Boy has no problem matching Canelo with any middleweight in the world. They have all the confidence in the world with him, and they have no problem if Billy Joe Saunders wins, and in case they can't make a deal with Golovkin, in offering a fight to Billy Joe for a WBO strap. So Billy Joe is in the running for a Canelo fight. David Lemieux is in the running for a Canelo fight. But the top priority is Gennady Golovkin, because that's the biggest fight out there in boxing. And it's a fight Golden Boy felt that he won. Canelo feels he won. I felt he won. And I have a very strong belief and much confidence that Canelo will finish the job on Triple G in a rematch. Golovkin's team, they don't seem all too keen on a rematch. they're not showing much confidence, trying to rush to a deal, and they're talking about contingency plans, backup plans, possibly do a fight in March or April. I mean, why can't you just wait a little more? Why rush a deal to the end of 2017? The fight won't be announced, if it does get made, until at least February, maybe late February. A deal probably won't get done until next year, early next year. So what is the rush? Why are these guys trying to make a quick decision on whether to move on or not? They're not going to get an HBO date until March or April, so they only got to wait an extra month or two. This is the fight that the fans want to see. At least fans that are objective, that felt that it was a close fight, and perhaps neither did enough to win the first fight. There needs to be some closure added to this chapter. It's a fight that should be made next. There shouldn't be any delays. There shouldn't be no interim fights. And I just find it laughable when it comes to the Golovkin fans. I mean, just go on Steve Ken's timeline. Bunch of Golovkin fanboys on there trying to justify Golovkin's team and moving on, and not wait for Canelo, even though it's the biggest fight out there for him and the most important fight of his career. They're gonna say that he won the fight anyways. He should move on, even though he didn't beat Canelo. It's official. He didn't beat Canelo, so why move on to another chapter when he still has unfinished business with Canelo Alvarez? If he fights Billy Joe, if he beats David Lemieux, that's to become undisputed. I ain't gonna knock the fight, but what would you rather see, a Canelo rematch or Billy Joe Saunders? Considering how Billy Joe has looked in his last couple of fights. Looked better against William Monroe, but he wasn't that impressive. Is he gonna fight Dervadenko if he can't come to a deal with Billy Joe? Not a bad fight, but who gives a shit about that fight? Nobody cares about that fight. Same goes for Canelo. Not people are gonna give much thought about him fighting David Lemieux. A fight with Billy Joe Saunders is not a bad fight, but it's not a fight people are clamoring for right now. People are not looking forward to that fight. Most people want to see the Canelo rematch. That's the fight people want to see. That's the fight people will buy. That's the fight a lot of people will tune in to watch. It was a very good fight the first time around. Wouldn't mind seeing it again. And the main reason why I want to see it again, because I want to see a definitive winner this time. I want to see a definitive outcome this time. And that's the fight that should be being pushed for. But Golovkin's team, they're in a rush to make an agreement. Doesn't seem like they want the rematch. Maybe they know they got lucky the last time and getting away with a draw. And if they were to do a fight next in May, it could be the end of Golovkin's reign as middleweight king, which I assure you will be the case. It's all up to Golovkin's team though. But it just seemed like they're going to make negotiations difficult. They're going to find all the excuse in the world to avoid this fight. Not Golovkin, but his team. But we'll see what happens. But this fight should be happening next. I don't want to hear no excuses. You want to go back on HBO Triple G and fight Dervadenko and Billy Joe Saunders? That's fine. But everyone knows this is your biggest fight. And this is the guy that you didn't beat. This is the guy that outboxed you for stretches. Made you look bad in some stretches. You need to go out there and show the boxing world what happened on September 16th. Why didn't you put an end to Canelo? Why didn't you knock him out? Why couldn't you land nothing but jabs throughout that whole night? I wasn't impressed with your performance, dog. But Canelo's waiting for you. He wants the rematch. But your team needs to be patient when it comes to making a deal. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.